Welcome to another Bandology interview. Bandology is a Canadian nonprofit dedicated to more music for more kids via education, collaboration, and community.
Hi everyone, my name is Lucas Redwood and I'm the music manager with Bandology. I'm here today with Ben Ball. How are you doing today, Ben?
Lucas, I'm good. Hello. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Ben teaches private percussion lessons at Humber College and is a jazz drummer. So Ben, when did you first start playing music?
I first started when I was 13 years old, formally taking drum lessons.
Nice. Who were you studying with at that time, or were you studying with anybody?
Well, I studied with a cat called Scott Douglas, and then after a while, I went to Jeff Christmas and his father, Art Christmas, and then Gary McCracken, and then I went to Humber. There's a real quick genealogy of my teachers up to Humber.
Nice. That's awesome. And so after Humber, would you say there were any difficulties during the start of your career after you graduated?
There still is. Actually, when I first started, I guess the biggest thing was, once you're out of school, you don't have assignments anymore. There's nobody pushing you, so you got to be really motivated on what you want to do. So I was already motivated by the time I got to the end of Humber, so I had to just basically was planning. So the difficult things were, I wanted to go to New York, so I had to figure out how to get there. So but before that even, I got a Canada Council grant to study with Chris McCann in Kingston. And after that, I was working as a busboy. That really sucked. And so I decided I can't do that anymore. So I didn't want to do that anymore. So I went on a cruise ship for 6 months. That was, anyway. And I took that money and I got another Canada Council grant and I went to live in New York City for a couple of years. After that, I was lucky enough to get a chance to go out to Korea to do a gig, and that ended up changing my life. And so I guess the biggest difficulties were I wanted to get from point A to point B. I knew what I wanted to do, and so I had to make all these plans, and I'm very thankful to the Canada Council and everybody that helped me along the way. So, how
is it like out in Korea? How is the scene different out there versus in Toronto?
Well, that's a good question. At that particular time, it wasn't as developed. There was like maybe, I would say for each instrument, maybe 5 people professionally playing in a city of 14 million. So there was lots of work. I mean, I was working all the time, just playing, it was really good. And it all kind of came crashing down with the Asian economic crisis. And then everything just went right in the ditch. So it was really good for a few years when I first went out there, and I had a really great time. From beginning to end, I had a great time out there. I still do.
Nice.
It really changed a lot.
So Ben is actually my private lesson instructor at Humber College, which is really, I'm really fortunate to take lessons with Ben. And,
I'm fortunate to have you as a student, Lucas.
And we've covered a lot of grounds in terms of percussion, the awesome world of drumming and everything. And I was listening recently to one of Ben's records, Words Within. That's a really awesome record, Ben.
Oh, thanks.
I really like that record. Can you describe a bit about the process you went through when making that record?
Well, every record I've made has been quite a process. And that one being my first one, it took me a long time to figure out what I wanted to say musically. I think I was about, it's too long ago, like 29 maybe or something like that when I released. It was a while anyway. So I collected all these tunes over a few years. So getting all that music together was the first kind of thing. And then trying to figure out what you want to say. So that took me a lot of time. And then trying to get it recorded was it was not easy. I had to do it over a bunch of different sessions at a bunch of different studios. That was tough. And then I had to get the mixing and mastering done. Oh, there was just so much stuff. Like the cymbals I was using on that recording weren't exactly what I wanted to use. I signed a local endorsement. I won't say the name of the company when I was out there in Korea. And that when I got the instruments, there wasn't a lot of choice what I could take.
Sure.
And so I had struggled even just with that. And then being in the studio too, anyway, we don't have to get into all this like violin hearts. Anyway, so I went through all the process of mixing and mastering, and then I was like, okay, how am I going to manufacture this CD? And then a member of the band had somebody who knew somebody who owned a record company over there, and I met with them, and they were really, really nice. Really, they said, okay, we'd really like to release this record for you. So they took care of all the manufacturing, the artwork, everything. The problem was I was going to leave Korea for a minute and go do a master's. So they said, oh, well, we're going to wait 2 years till you come back. So, this whole process, I think each record takes me like years to produce.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was a learning curve. So
for sure.
That helps.
Nice. Yeah. I'm sure it's cool hearing a different process because with producing a jazz record versus, producing a different, because I'm sure the process is a bit different overall between different genres.
These days, my last 3 records, everything has to be recorded in a day. There's no budget for multiple recording sessions. And oh man, everyone is just like, yeah, it's I don't know. It is what it is.
It's too bad because like you hear stories from back in the biggest bands like the Beatles and everything. They had hours and hours and hours of studio time, right? And it's unfortunate that you can't. I sometimes feel when I'm in the studio environment, you're almost limited when you have that limited time, like with creativity. So, but yeah.
Apologies. Yeah, no, I there's when the clock is running, it's always stressful.
Yes, it is.
And I don't use producers. I've never used a producer in the studio, so I just trust everybody to play their parts and do their thing, and then I have to try to take care of my stuff, and then it's trying to be the drummer, composer, and the producer at the same time. It's quite a thing.
Sounds challenging, but interesting. Yeah. So what approaches do you like to take when you're teaching music, say at Humber and when you've also taught other private lessons?
I guess first and foremost, every student is different. The way everybody learns is different. So I guess the first step or whatever, the first thing I would like to do is sort of evaluate what they were looking for, where they're coming from, what they, how long they've been playing and all that. And then just try to figure out if they have a goal, if there's something specific they want to do. There's lots of stuff we can work on. It just depends on, what the student's looking for. And I like to have, if possible, have 2 drum sets set up because I find it's really good to, you don't have to talk so much and you can explain stuff by playing and then everybody understands it quicker. And then some of the conceptual stuff you have to talk a little bit about. And I find that works really well. And also I ask the students to always self-evaluate themselves so that they're always like teaching themselves. And then eventually, they can do it. And you don't need me anymore. So there you go. I'm making myself obsolete.
Yeah. The 2 drum setup is definitely a cool way to allow students to kind of, and an exercise that you do that's really cool is trading between drummers and doing that kind of practicing soloing and everything. So it sounds like a great process for kind of letting students kind of shape their different experience within the lesson.
Yeah, and we do that over a musical form. It's not just like YouTube shreds or something like that, right? It's
YouTube shreds, the best. So what would you say some of your favorite moments or performances you have experienced so far in your career?
Just 2 quickly. I would say when I was living in New York, the first night I played in Billy Mitchell's band as a member, that was a really, really special night for me. Very special night. And that CD we're talking about, the Words Within, when I finally got that thing released over in Korea, I was trying to think, okay, so what am I going to do here? Because I want to do some sort of release for this thing. And then there was a TV show over there called Space, EBS Space or something like that. And so I just sent them the CD and they said, oh, yeah, sure. So what I did is I did the CD release sort of thing as a live TV concert. And then they were really nice. They said, oh, we'll edit a few of the songs for you. And I can't remember exactly. Anyway, there's a few from that show up on YouTube still, and it was. I was lucky that they had the good quality TV cameras, right, and TV sound and everything. So it was was a special moment. So yeah, there's 2 for you.
Wow. Yeah, no, that sounds really cool. It, especially with having that high quality production for, and you said that was your first release, so it must have felt really exciting for it being the first release and all this big stuff.
Yeah, it was a good time. It was and I think by that time, because so much time had gone by, oh my God, like, by the time that thing actually came out, I'd been to the I won't say where, I'd been to a factory and I'd been able to choose the cymbals that I wanted. So when I was on that TV show, I was playing the cymbals that I wanted to use, and I really, it was just good. It all came together. It was good.
Nice. Do you have any interesting projects or events coming up?
Yeah, projects. I've got another CD that I'm pulling through the mud trying to get released. People don't release CDs. I'm going to release a CD. I'm going to try my best to release this CD. I mean, it's already recorded and stuff like that. It takes me forever to get stuff done. So that's cool. For me, that's the big project. Nice.
Looking forward to hearing it.
Oh, thanks. Hopefully someday you will.
Yeah, someday. So at Bandology, we talk a lot about the value of music education and how it provides many different transferable skills. So Ben, my question to you is, why is music education important to you?
Well, first of all, I think music is probably one of the greatest things in the world. I think if people spent more time trying to play music than blow people up or steal money from them or defund things, it would be a lot better in the world, right? So I think that it's a universal language, and I think for me, it's a two-way street for me. I mean, I love teaching the cats. I mean, yourself, it's like, you hear stuff, you get ideas, you talk to people, you play, and it's really fun. It's really makes me feel good.
Yeah, I second that. So my last formal official question to you is, do you have any advice for young musicians who might be interested in the career path you chose?
I would say you got to love music. If you think you're going to go into this with some sort of monetary thing at the end of the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, man, it's going to be, I don't think that's, maybe it's going to happen, maybe it's not. You really got to love to play music, and so I can say for me, the music means more and more as I get older. It's so much, it means so much to me. So I think that if you choose music or music chooses you, you should try to follow that at all, try to do that. And like I said, you need to have a lot of patience. I think that would be my advice. Just be really patient and really want it and really keep doing. Nobody's going to tell you to stop. It's going to be you that's going to tell you to stop. So you got to really, if you really want to do this, you got to do it.
Yeah.
So there you go.
That's an interesting way of putting it. No one's going to tell you to stop. It's you that tells you to stop. And you have to get over that. A lot of people we've chatted with have said the imposter syndrome kind of thing. Where
the what syndrome?
Imposter syndrome, where you kind of feel like you're not good enough. And that's what kind of drives people to maybe want to stop because they feel, I don't know, not as motivated, or it was just an interesting way of putting it that I hadn't thought about necessarily before. But yeah.
Don't listen to the voices.
The voices, yeah.
The voices of negativity.
All right. So we like to end our interviews off with a little set of Fast 5 questions.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. That's the response.
The answer is yes, no.
Yeah. Okay, all right. First, Fast 5 question. What is your favorite movie soundtrack?
Well, actually, I don't really listen to movie soundtrack, but I'll say this is Spinal Tap.
Classic.
There you go.
Nice. Instrument you wish you played?
Well, I'm playing the instrument I wish I played, so drums. I'd say maybe any of the, I know you were asking for one instrument. I would say that as a drummer, playing piano and bass, like rhythm section instruments, is really good. And I played bass for the last 20-something years, just as a hack hobby, and I really love that. I'd love to study bass formally.
Oh, yeah.
So there's an answer for you.
Do you do electric or acoustic?
Oh, electric. I have no patience for upright.
Upright is very hard.
I like electric where you can just see on the fretboard. You can see the note, and it's like, okay, there. I mean, you don't get some of the same sound. Still, it's the doghouse. I mean, you got to be like, oh, where is that thing again?
Or you could be like in high school, we had the ones with the frets, so those help. But,
I'll get a router out and start working on.
Nice.
No.
All right. What is your hidden talent?
Hidden talent? I don't know. I'd say perseverance, patience. Is that a talent?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
I can watch cement dry. There you go.
Wow. Okay. Nice. Dream vacation spot.
Well, that's a good question. I don't know. I rather than that, I'd like to take that ship, the Queen Mary 2. I'd like to take that from New York over to Europe. That would be kind of fun.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
So there you go. There's an answer.
Nice. Last but not least, what is your favorite concert you attended?
Parallel Realities. I think it was 1990. Jack DeJohnette, Herbie Hancock, and Pat Metheny. Who did I say? Pat Metheny, Herbie Hancock, Dave Holland, and Jack DeJohnette. That was amazing.
Where was that concert?
Roy Thompson Hall.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that changed my life.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Jack. Thank you, everybody.
Heavy players.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Ben, for taking the time today and chatting about your experience and all the cool things happening that have happened and are happening in your career.
Lucas, thanks for everything, man. Thanks for inviting me, and good luck with Bandology and everything. And yeah, man.
Cool. All right. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us. If you like what you heard, you can learn more about our organization at bandology.ca, which features information about music education, advocacy and research, and our Play a Gig and Bandcamp programs. Follow us on social media for more videos, performance, and interviews on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.